Sadly or luckily, I don't know, but 99% of the crypto investors don't know all the 5 tools that we will see in this video that are totally free to do your own chain analysis. Maybe they have seen this one, for example, but do they know exactly how to use it? That's another question that I will show you how you can do it, because on-chain analysis is totally different and is proper to blockchain and crypto investment. And this is where actually you can make your 10x, 100x, and even 1000x, because I saw people doing it and I know how to follow them, and I will show you this in this video. By the way, welcome on Handsome Finance, where we study what's happening on chain, because the blockchain is an open ledger, so we can see all the transactions, who made money, who lost money, follow the smart money, and make even more money. So don't forget to pour down your little matcha, and let's get to it. The first tool we are going to see is Etherscan.io. A really powerful tool with infinite capabilities, because it will track all the records of the blockchain Ethereum and all the tokens that are on the Ethereum blockchain. For example, here on the right panel, I can see all the latest transaction. On the left panel, all the latest blocks. Yes, because a block is made of X number of transactions. It's usually between 100 and 200 for the Ethereum blockchain. And those blocks at this time happen every 10 seconds on average. That's why it's a blockchain. And in the blockchain, we get all those transactions in each block. Let me open one transaction so you will understand how it's so powerful. You see here we have an amount of 0 Ethereum, but is it really? Let's check. I don't know this transaction. And this person actually just made a transfer of 860 USDC from his address to that address. This is downrightdigital.eth. I could now just click on that address and see his full portfolio and everything he did before. All the transactions, the transfer, the swaps, all the information. That's why Etherscan is super powerful. And most of the tools that we will see later on uses Etherscan as a base, and they just put a cover on it to let you analyze in a different way. For example, one that I like to follow, which have a fairly good value. We have $10,000 in Ethereum and $1 million in different tokens. I can check all the transactions that happen. So if I was to export it, then I could use some functions to see how much he made, how much he lost, and categorize everything. But this will take a lot of time, and I am lazy, to be honest with you. So I always put all my brain capacity to find a better way and an easier way. To give you an analogy to dating, here it would be like if you get all the message of everyone. You see all the message, everything that's happening, you have all the granular details. But let's de-zoom a little bit and see the performance of the wallet. Here I'm using Zerion.io. It's free as well, and you can track many wallets. You can connect your own wallet and add the other wallets. You see, I can just add it to my list. I have an overview of all the network that the wallet we're talking about is using. I can see the performance of the wallets. And you see, compared to Etherscan, here I can see the portfolio, which is $2.2 million. Now, all the tools that we are going to see today, because they use on-chain data, some have different filters, some have different knowledge. And as we were on Etherscan, Etherscan is not going to scan all the different protocols. But on this wallet, for example, we can see that this person used different protocols. I can see the evolution of the wallet over a year. Most of the people will just think, oh, then he made a lot of money here and then lost it all. Well, yes and no, because what happened is that maybe he sent some money out. So this performance graph is for me a bit deceptive on Zerion. It gave an idea, but when I see a bump like this, either he received some tokens or it is sent to himself. So we can't really count as a performance. For example, when I see a drop like this and I see that he sent some USDC somewhere else, I'm like, yeah, but I don't really know. I don't really know what happened, so I don't always check it. However, what is interesting is when you click on one asset, For example, he hold this token code that we saw before in a previous video. I think it's a really interesting token to bet on. And we can see when he bought some at this price, $5,000. Here, $5,000 of it again. And again, received. So that depends. If he received, I don't know exactly what happened. Okay, receive. He bought some and then he received them. So maybe he stacked them, maybe he got a partnership with them, or maybe it's because he's been a holder of it. I don't know. But what I know is that on that day, you see a minus sign. You would think, oh, probably he sold it. No, he sent it somewhere. And when you click on it, I don't have all the information. And guess where we come back? I will check the hash, which is always on Etherscan. So here I will get all the information. And the hash is like the signature of your message, the signature of your transaction. So it's an important thing to know, because when you have a hash, you can know the transaction. If I was copy this hash and search it on Etherscan, it's crazy how like they make me pronounce H so many times. They know I'm French, I can't pronounce it. I can find back my transaction, and it did transfer 2,000 cow to this address. I could click on that address to know what happened. What is that address? And it's a contract. Then that will be something to dig in to understand, what is this address? Why did he send it here? That's why Zerion will be a little bit like if you knew everything that happened in the life of someone. You can see when they went on a date, when they started to get together, when they broke up, but you don't have the details in the message. However, it classifies it, which makes it easier to read it first, and then you can dig it into the details. Because if we have all the transactions, it gets a bit messy. It's hard to know exactly what happened and how it happened. Because I'm a really generous person, let me show you another tool that is not part of those 5 free tools for on-chain data analysis. Is Zapper.xyz, whatever. But it's similar to Zerion, just a different way to show it. We will see all the recent activity, same as I could see it on Zerion here, where I could filter it as well, different transactions, different tokens. By the way, if you want me to do a really deep analysis of any of the tools that we are going to see in this video, just put it in the comments. And if there's enough requests for one of those tools, then I will do a video, because it takes me quite a lot of time to do those videos. So unless a lot of people will watch it and it can help, I think there's no point for me to do it. But let's switch to our third tool, which will be Arcam. Arcam Intelligence. I don't know why they say Arcam Computer here, but it's a tool that will also help you to analyze all the transactions. Now, if I take our same wallet, you see different data will be shown on different tools. The same person now only have 700K. And I can see the evolution of the portfolio. One thing that I like compared to the other tools that we saw is that we have the profit or loss that seems a bit more accurate. Of course, we get all the tokens, but why I love this tool the most is to be able to visualize all the transactions. Again, an analogy for dating here, it will be to see everyone who is following that person, who get followers in comment, and who they follow. Because I have all the transactions, in green, it means that they received, and in red, it means that they sent. Now I can know all the protocols, all the addresses that they worked with. For example, we can see that this wallet interacts a lot with Core Protocol. They love to use it. Instead of waiting to know like, oh, where should I invest? What should I do? I can see this cloud. And for me, because I've been doing on-chain analysis for a few years now, so of course it's easier for me to read. But if you want to understand more about on-chain analysis, just click subscribe to the channel, just watch all the videos, and your knowledge will improve every minute you watch, literally. You will learn so much. I can see that he played with Hyperliquid, for example. It's another thing that we talked about. He sent 10K to it. You see, I have all the informations here. One thing that will be interesting with Arcam is, for example, I want to see only the big transaction. How much money he sent, what was the big things. And with this way, I will be like, for example, oh, what happened with Unibot? He received 15K. Why that? Oh, that was a migration. You see, that's it. I have the information. So I know this person used a Unibot in the past. But for example, why this wallet address sent him 11K? If I click on it, it's going to open the cloud, or not the cloud, but all the links of that address. And it's actually a boring one, only one transaction, really a weird one, a wallet that was created and that just sent it. Strange. I'm showing you all this so you understand that everything on-chain analysis, you are not going to find always the golden nuggets, but this is really where you can find your 100x. If you dig deep, at least 10x, because I did it a few times because of using on-chain data analysis. I guess it's time to talk about the best of the best tool, which is not out yet because it's mine and I'm still building it. However, you can join the waitlist by clicking the first link in the description, and I will send you this file for free that have all the best addresses in the game, the biggest investment funds, all your favorite influencers, even Mr. Beast, whoever you want. You can just track down their wallets with the tools that we just saw today. So you can use this as a base and you get it for free. You put your email address and I send you that, and you will get as well on the waiting list to be one of the first to use the tool. Let's switch to our fourth tool, which is bubblmaps.io. Of course, it's free. The good thing is that it gave us a visualization of all the wallets. I can check the snapshot when it was 2 months ago at the launch of this coin, for example, which is CyberDoge, a meme coin, I believe, and it's something dodgy around it, because I can see a lot of wallets connected to each other, which could mean that during the launch, people were organized. There was some insiders, and the insiders are here to trick the others. We can see a few big wallets and then a lot of small wallets. But like all that, like this is to pretend like, okay, we are not the same, but we are actually the same person. I will definitely dive a bit deeper to understand what's around here. I can check all the different transfer, okay, from one wallet to the other. And of course, every time I will click on a transaction, I come back to Etherscan. So the analogy to dating here, the only one I chose is just like you get the crime scene. So you know everything. You combine the messages, you combine the who follow who, you get everything, and you're like, oh, okay, they're connected here, then they've been together here, and then you understand the full spectrum. This is pretty powerful. Now, they don't have all the coins on it, so it's going to depend. You have to search if your token is on it, but they have a paid version. However, it doesn't make any sense how to get the paid version. You need to buy their own token. And when I checked, you had to buy like for $1,000 or $2,000 worth of a token to access the tool. For me, it doesn't make sense. But who am I to judge? I'm just handsome finance. And the fifth tool is totally different than the 2 or 3 others that we just saw before. It's Debank.com. And actually, I have another free tool that I will put on top. So that's actually 7 tools, but I didn't want it to say too much. Anyways, Debank is an interesting one because it's a bit of everything that we saw. However, they put it with a social media part. For example, you could follow my profile. That you may understand, why would I follow your profile, Antoine, and see all your transactions? Well, it's just because like this, the total value of followers that I have will increase, and this will satisfy my ego. And I think this is a total valid reason. No, but seriously, Debank, they are really powerful to see everything deep down in the different wallets. And the way they put all the different blockchain is, for me, interesting. For example, on one of my wallets here, I can see like the 11 different chains and all the one that I use. I didn't use base chain. I didn't use Celo and all those ones. But the first few one I did. I can see everything in the wallet. You can check the NFTs, the transactions. And the good thing is that they have this social media thing. So you could message another wallet. Now, it can be paid. For example, like if you want to message me, it's $1 today. It's quite sad, I know. But I got message once. So I made $1. And you can have those message. You can have the stream, which will be all the different posts by some other people on the blockchain. It's kind of like Twitter, but only targeted to block. I like to be able to follow the different wallets. Plus, instead of just having the wallet and knowing all the transaction, I can have an idea as well about why they're doing it, because maybe the person will put a post about it and the way they monetize the platform seems to be pretty good. I mean, I made $3 and if you join it, well, you are going to farm some points and at some point maybe get some tokens. So that's why probably you should join it, because that combines everything. Instead of having to set up different email alerts everywhere on all the different transactions, you could just have this and just follow what happened on the different wallets that you follow, which is an interesting concept to me. I don't know if it will take off, but personally, I like to use it. And you know what? I will probably be able to set up a lucky draw as well on Debank. So if you follow me, you may win $200 at some point when I will post on it that I do a lucky draw. As could be another reason to follow me. I just made the video sound like it was sponsored, but it's not sponsored. I mean, unless they send me some money and then I will accept it, but it is a cool tool to use. However, if I had to choose wherever I fall back, is always Etherscan, because this is where I would get all the details of all the transaction. And honestly, this tool is just crazy how much you can do with it. Every time I use it, every time I go on it, I'll find something new. I'll find something more interesting. So I think the level of research you could do on it is maybe infinite. And of course, it's really complex. That's if you want to have really deep knowledge, and you probably don't need it. But also another version will be SolScan, which is similar to Etherscan, where I can see everything but for Solana. And I can follow all the different transactions similar way. So if you learn one, then you understand the other. For example, this wallet, I can see same all the transaction that happen. If I click on one of the transaction and see, okay, it's the similar way that is presented. As you can see, it's really similar to Etherscan. So you could use SolScan if you use Solana. You get Ethereum, you get SolScan, and then if you want to go into dating, then it will be Instagram. Sorry, that's not one of the tools. But I think this is the full spectrum of all the tools you could use. Now you can do all this research on your own, it's fine. But personally, I prefer to do on-chain research in group. I find it a lot more fun. And I find it that we can go a lot deeper, because if someone finds something interesting and we are 10 people searching on the same thing, well, it's the same. It's going to be a lot easier to find the gold if you search in group. That's how I believe it. That's why I created the Investors Boardroom, and also because it helped me to put those people at another level of understanding of on-chain data analysis and be able to find more money to be made. And you know what? Actually, this is exactly how I made this really good trade. You can watch this video. I mean, 35K in 24 hours, 48 hours. You're not going to be able to find this everywhere. Now, I didn't make it to the top of that, but a good chunk of it. So you can check this video and you will understand everything. It was a pleasure for me to do this video. And before you leave, what is it? Yeah, don't forget one thing. Stay handsome. Ciao.